Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnijam Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe Gnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakrutim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Krishnam Kamalapatraksham Punyasravanakirtanam Vasudevam Jagadyonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Naumi Narayanam Harim Namostu te Vyasa Visala Buddhe Fullaravindayata Patranetra Yena Tvaya Bharata Tailapurnaha Prajvalito Gnanamaya Pradipaha Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha O Avikaraya Suddhaya Nityaya Paramatmane Sadaika Rupa Rupaya Vishnave Prabha Vishnave 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 Prabha Vishnave. So we are in the Vidhuraneethi journey, which occurs Vidura's talk or dialogue with Dhritarashtra when Dhritarashtra was absolutely losing happiness and gripped by the fear that the Pandavas have come back and they will again claim a portion of the land, Rajyam, and that Duryodhana may not be willing to give, nor my sons will be deprived of the luxury of enjoying the entirety of land and luxury, all that benefits. So that was the kind of grief. And on the other hand, if he were to refuse, because he is a Chakravarti still, and Duryodhana is only Yuvaraja, and therefore his counter signature is important for any decision, royal decision made. Therefore, he makes Sanjaya to go to the place of Dharmaraja and with a plea that all said and done, it is best if Pandavas were to go back for Aranyavasam, another spell of 13 years or so that his children, his sons will be able to continue to enjoy the land fully. That was a bad, hopeless procedure that irritated very much Dharmaraja, and he went on enumerating all the kinds of activity, mosam, that Duryodhana and all people meted over towards the Dharmaraja and his brothers and all that. And Dharmaraja is so great, committed to dharma and respect for elders, respect for laws. So he simply agreed, though when he was playing that the Jutam, he knew that some cheating is going on, but he cannot shirk or swerve from the decision. So yet he continued, and Shakuni had his. So actually, Juta playing is second time. First time already there was that kind of play, and it was not much dangerous. But the second one, which Shakuni proposed and said, Shakuni told Duryodhana, Ore Babu, why war and bloodshed and all that, and I will get you the land completely in your favor by just playing Jutam. And Duryodhana liked the idea, no war. So the second time they sent invitation to Dharmaraja, and Dharmaraja, without informing Krishna or anybody, just said yes and then participated in the Jutam, which was of high cheating nature because of the participation of the Dushta Chatushtayas. and that is the four wicked fellows countable among the Kauravas. Who are those? They are countable ones are Duryodhana, Shakuni, Karna, and Dushasana. So these are the four people who are there, and so they do all that. In fact, Shakuni joined his sister's family, giving up his Gandhara ruling, or here and there he was moving, and he had in his heart of hearts he wanted to ruin the Kauravas. But by befriending them, by making that, see, because the Shakuni is a great cheater in all respects, you can never trust him. But he so dialogues himself that he is really interested in the person. So, poor Duryodhana, he also agreed for that. And so things went like that. So, this is the introductory portion. And in the evening, Sanjaya returned to Dhritarashtra and chided him for the kind of proposal, for the kind of attitude that he has continuously with regard to his brothers, children, sons, and family, because after all, he only dandled them. He only encouraged them after the death of his brother Panduraja, and such a equal love, all his children do it. But he has taken an ego and partiality, although he knew that Pandavas are really stronger than his own sons Kauravas, Duryodhanadayaha. But what to do? Putra prema and Pitru prema, and moreover, he loved Duryodhana most compared to all other sons. And so, whatever Duryodhana proposes, he will designs and he will simply countersign. And that's why he is not, as long as Duryodhana is not there in the presence of the Dhritarashtra, he is a wisdom fellow, he is a scholar, he knows all. But the moment the wind comes from the direction of Duryodhana, well, he will be influenced about that. This is foul air. So, Ripram Vataha and Bheshajam Vataha ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ವೇದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. That is Bheshajam Vataha means herbal air. That is healthy. And Ripram Vata is the foul air which will be infectious. So, when that kind of Duryodhana is there, then when Sanjaya sided him and Dhritarashtra became really worried and fear grip and fear ridden, and so he immediately requested Vidura to come, and Vidura is minister, Vidura to come and speak some kind of enthusing words or instruction to him so that he will be able to face with courage next morning when Duryodhana comes up, or when the entire meeting was arranged in a public council in Sabha. And also Krishna was also to come. So when that kind of decision-making council was to take place next morning, then immediately before it, he called Vidura, and Vidura came and he went on talking. So there actually in Viduraneethi, we have got 500 slokas, 500 slokas which have been introduced and full of moral science, morality, human behavior, and dharmic principles. Well, it has got a high coverage. There is no aspect which Vidura has not touched in respect of the humans, because it is the human mind, though it is intelligent and it is all that, it has got whether it has got scope for development or perversion. See, the perverted people always use their intelligence for suffering. We have some number of examples. High intelligence sometimes lands them into jail, into calamities. And other high intelligence in a positive manner, when used, it helps for the enhancement of conveniences, luxuries, and so on and so forth. That's why intelligence, buddhi, and in fact, as said that human beings are given the buddhi, sir. As Markandeya Maharshi says in Dirga Sapsati, he says, Sarvasya jantoho buddhirasti. All beings born on the land, Prithvi, they have been endowed with a tiger has got, a lion has got, everything has got a buddhi. But human buddhi is exclusively different because it is clubbed also with the manas. So that's why Krishna in Gita always said, Mayarpita mano buddhi, dharmam kuru, yudhasva, yogi bhava. So manassu, buddhi, these are the only two things under the control of the humans. If you don't control discipline, but get influenced by the indriyas, because indriyaha indriyartheshu pravartante, the indriyas always want to achieve their tastes and goals. They don't mind much about the mind. They don't mind about the buddhi. But if you have got the indriya nigraha, indriya bodha, that's exactly what you call them atma bodha, which Sankara tells it, then we will be on the road. Otherwise, we'll take deviations and suffer. So, the manassu buddhi for human beings, but that buddhi becomes poisoned because of the others' poisoned buddhi. Duryodhana poisons the mind of everybody with his own decisions. Something like that happened regarding the Tirupati Laddu. It's now a roar by all people how that Laddu Prasadam of Venkatramana is being treated. So, anyway, so as that, you see that buddhi is important. And who is the buddhi? Vidura is the buddhi. Duryodhana needed shaping, styling, fashioning the buddhi, I mean Dhritarashtra. But Duryodhana is incorrigible fellow. He cannot at all budge. He has only one determination to kill Pandavas, to occupy the entirety of the land and to enjoy. This is the only goal and determinations in Duryodhana. In order for that, whoever gives evil designs, supports, all of them are his good friends. And so Karna is a good friend. And all what Bhishma, Drona, Krupa, all these acharyas are there. But he doesn't heed the ears, the advice of these acharyas. But what to do? Because they are all committed to the throne of the Kurus. Therefore, whoever sits on the throne of Kuru Vamsa, and it is the commitment they have to protect the throne, not the person. The person sitting on the throne is important also because the throne is important. As is, so that's why the entirety is there. So now let us go to the text. Actually, I can keep on talking, but we should make some progress on the text because we have missed some two more sessions. And this session I don't want to, because now we are having the Pitru Paksha where there is always intervention and suggestion and also Asirvada by the Pitru Devatas. Pitru Asirvada is very important than Devata Asirvada. That's what in Chamakam it is said, Deva Namo Devebhya Sudha Pitrubhya. That is, Devatas give you the building and Pitru Devatas give you the luxury and comfort and the decoration inside and outside. Therefore, the Pitru Devatas Anugraha also is wanted in order to fulfill your desires. So on this day, we shall talk about this Vidura, all that. We are in the 17th sloka actually to speak about, but what is the topic that has come out from the mouth of Vidura? So I just read only the the instructions given to Dhritarashtra in 37th chapter. The 500 slokas have been divided into 8 chapters or so 33rd, 34 and 35. I mean 34, 35, 36 and 37. So we are now in the 37th chapter of Vidura Neethi, 14th sloka or so. where he is, Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra that there are very few people who can be really your advisors. So, so he talks about the Sulabhaha, Durlabhaha. To get real friends is really, really difficult. To get real friends is really difficult. Therefore, in the 14th sloka, Vidura is telling, Sulabhaha Purushaha Rajan Statatam Priyavadinaha Apriyasya tu Patpatyasya Bhakta Srota Chadurlabha is the most important character which one has to build up. Namely, Priyavadinaha Purushaha Rajan Sulabhaha Satatam. There are always a large number of consultants who will be able to speak good and advice and mentorship ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. బట్ సులభాహ వాళ్ళందరూ చాలా ఇది. కానీ అంటే అర్థమేమో, వింటూ ఉంటే చెప్పిన మాటలు విని దాన్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే దాని నుంచి చెప్పిన వాళ్ళకి ప్రయోజనం ఉంటుంది, చేసే వాళ్ళకి ప్రయోజనం ఉంటుంది, ఇద్దరు కూడా సంతోషంగా ఉంటారు. కానీ చెప్పేవాళ్ళు బోల్డ్ మంది ఉంటారు, చెప్పిందంతా విని దాన్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసేటువంటి మంచి బుద్ధి ఉండేటువంటి ప్రజలు చాలా తక్కువ. దట్స్ వై ప్రియవాదిన సులభాః. యూ కెన్ ఆల్వేస్ గెట్ హోల్డ్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ విత్ దో హూ స్పీక్ గుడ్ టు యూ. కానీ ప్రియవాదిన కానీ అప్రియస్య సుపత్సస్య రాజన్ సతతం ప్రియవాది రాజన్ వక్తా శ్రోతా చ దుర్లభః. See, those people who have committed to the wrong ways, దుష్టాచార, దురాచార, దుఃఖాచాರ అండ్ సనాతన ధర్మಕ್ಕೆ నెగటివ్గా ಈ ತರಹ ಕಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. And whatever pathway or decision or the behavior that people take is apriyapatya. Priya, Vidura is telling two divisions. One is priyapatya and another is the apriyapatya. Priyapatya means sanmarga. Apriya patha means durmarga. So sanmargavalokanaaya apanayatu vaha tamasim vrittimishah. Kalidasa makes a prayer at the very outset in the Malavikagnimithram drama, which is the first drama we believe written by Kalidasa. There he says in the Nandi sloka itself that Sanmargala, ಈ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ ಈಶ್ವರ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏಕ ಈಶ್ವರ್ಯೇ ಸ್ಥಿತೋಪಿ ಪ್ರಣತ ಬಹುಫಲೇಪಿ ಯಸ್ವಯಂ ಕೃತ್ತಿವಾಸಾಃ ಕಾಂತಾ ಸಮ್ಮಿಶ್ರದೇಹೋಪಿ ಅಭಿಷಯ ಮನಸಾಂ ಯಪ್ಪರಸ್ತಾತ್. ಅಂಥ ಮಹಾನುಭಾವ ನಮಗೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಟು ಗೋ ಆನ್. So it is like this. So apriyasya pachyasya shrota vakta cha durlabha. Labha means labham. Durlabha means difficult to get people to talk about the Priyam to such people who always are interested to go astray. And also, you cannot find listeners to them also. Vakta is the advisors, Srota are the executors. So, it's difficult. But still, as a result, what happens is you will be independent of your own hopeless actions, and you will be alone responsible for the consequences of all of them. Therefore, it is said that not only Vakta, even Srotacha, even those people who listen to your talk are also very few people. That's why Bhakta Srotacha Durlabhaha. It is very difficult to get these two people at all. And next, he says, Yohi dharmam vyapasritya hitva bhartuho priya priye ಅಪ್ರಿಯಾಣ್ಯಾಹ ಪಥ್ಯಾನಿ ತೇನ ರಾಜ ಸಹಾಯವಾನ್.
ಎಷ್ಟನೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಗುರುಗಳೇ?
37th ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ 15th ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ನೀನು ಓದ್ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ, ಓದ್ತೀಯಾ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು. ಸೊ ಈ 15th ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಯೋಹಿ ಧರ್ಮಂ ವ್ಯಪಾಶ್ರಿತ್ಯ
ಯೋ ಹಿ ಧರ್ಮಂ ವ್ಯಪಾಶ್ರಿತ್ಯ ಹಿತ್ವಾ ಭರ್ತುಃ
ಪ್ರಿಯಾ ಪ್ರಿಯೇ ಅಪ್ರಿಯಾಣ್ಯಾಹ ಅಪಥ್ಯಾನಿ ತೇನ ರಾಜ ಸಹಾಯವಾನ್.
ಯೋ ಹಿ ಧರ್ಮಂ ವ್ಯಪಾಶ್ರಿತ್ಯ ಹಿತ್ವಾ ಭರ್ತು ಪ್ರಿಯಾ ಪ್ರಿಯೇ ಅಪ್ರಿಯಾಯಾನ್ಯಾಹ ವ್ಯತ್ಪತ್ಯಾನಿ ತೇನ ರಾಜ ಸಹಾಯವಾನ್. ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ ಕುಲಾತ್ತೆ ಪುರುಷಂ ಗ್ರಾಮಸ್ಯಾತ್ತೆ ಕುಲಂ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ ಗ್ರಾಮಂ ಜನಪದಸ್ಯಾತ್ತೆ ಆತ್ಮಾರ್ತೆ ಪೃಥಿವೀಂ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್.
ನಾವು ಈ ಎರಡು ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ not caring what is agreeable or disagreeable said by the Maharaja, but keeps the virtue of being obedient, such type of people, they are only the strength for the king or for that individual. That's exactly what happened in Duryodhana's case or in Kuru's case, because those people who serve, see, dharmam vyapasritya. Vyapasraya means independent of dharmam. They don't think of the dharma, and then they only want to be obedient to the king. That's what we call Raja Bhakti. And whatever Raja says, people do it. Yakendre yatha Raja tatha prajaha anta heltare. So if the king is really ruly and good, then all people will be good. If the king is not good, things will happen like that. That's exactly the story in Markandeya Puranas, Durga Sapsati, where that King Surata has been abandoned by his people, by his land, by his administration, by his treasury and all that, because he was good, but the enemies that who defeated him were wicked fellows. They wanted to overpower. That's why Durgamma comes and helps. So here also what happens, those people who hurt dharma, they will definitely suffer. So apriyani aha pathyani tena raja sahayavan. So the supporters who simply promote the king's evil designs, then that fellow, that king is really having these people as their strength. So bad people are there, good people are there, something like what happened in earlier administrations. where they try to corrupt things. ಆ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ಎನಿವೇ ದಟ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ತ್ಯಾಗ ಇರಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಧರ್ಮ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಧರ್ಮ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾಲೋಡ್, ಎ ಟ್ರೂ ಧರ್ಮಿನ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ದ ಫೆಲೋಸ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ 16th ಅಲ್ಲಿ
त्यजेत्
ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಲಾರ್ಥೆ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ ಪುರುಷಂ. ಕುಲಾರ್ಥೆ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ ಪುರುಷಂ. So kulasya, this is what is also found in the Panchatantra and Hitopadesha. They say that Tyajet kularthe purusham. You can give up the man for the protection of the entire family. See, in Mahabharata, we have got a beautiful episode. Kunti and the brothers of Bhima, they wanted to get rid of Bhima physically. When a Brahmin's boy was to go as food for Bakasura, and all in which they are Bakasura. And then the parents were very much worried. He was the only one son or like that. If he were to be killed by him, then they will be orphans. So that was the worry. Then Kunti told that lady of the house, Amma, I have got 5 children and I can spare one son for that fellow today. You don't bother. Then you know the story that Bhima went, ate all the food that was meant for that Bakasura, and he became yet more stronger because Bhima is having highest strength, highest hunger. And when Bakasura came, found the entire patras empty and only one Bhima standing there, and there was a big fight and Bakasura was killed then. So that is the real spirit. But that spirit also will help for the promotion of protection of the whole family. And that was the end of the commitment to all the villagers to send one human being as food for the Asura, because Asura is killed by Bakasura, by Bhima. So this is how Tyajet kulasyarthe purusham and gramasyarthe kulam tyajetu. If there is going to be benefit for the entire village, then it's better all of them get migrated. So there are so many instances of migration when it became a dire necessity for one purpose or the other. ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಮ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಕುಲವನ್ನು ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಗ್ರಾಮಂ ಜನಪದಸ್ಯ ಅರ್ಥೇ. ಜನಪದ, ದ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಅಪ್ ಜನಪದಾರ್ಥೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆತ್ಮದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಪೃಥ್ವಿಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತ್ಯಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಇಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ ಕುಲಸ್ಯಾರ್ಥೇ ಪುರುಷಂ. So Purusha, Kula, Janapada, Prithvi. So these are the 4 things. And one must have the Tyaga. A Tyaga idre, avaga things will grow better. That's why Chajet, for the sake of the family, a member may be sacrificed. For the sake of the village, a family could be sacrificed. For the sake of the kingdom, Janapada is the kingdom or city, a village can be sacrificed. And for the sake of one soul, Atma Arthe, the whole earth may be sacrificed. So this is the principle proposed and followed in our Hindu system. Our Sanatana Dharma is having a lot of tyaga. We have got India, Bharat has got freedom because of ತ್ಯಾಗ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಮರ ಯೋಧರು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. There is to get freedom, which the idea to get freedom started, and wars all started from 1857, but more than 100 years it has taken to get the freedom. Only 1947, ultimately people could get freedom to India. So that's why we celebrate it every year with all jubilee and all that. So ಈ ತ್ಯಾಗಂ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್, ತ್ಯಾಗ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್, ತ್ಯಜೇತ್, ತ್ಯಜೇತ್ and ತ್ಯಜೇತ್. So even Bhagavad Gita also tells you about the ತ್ಯಾಗ. See, Gita reverse ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತಾಗಿ, ತ್ಯಾಗಿ. So this is how that. And again in 17th sloka we come across a beautiful statement. ಏನದು ಆಪದರ್ಥೇ ಧನಂ ರಕ್ಷೇತು ದಾರಾನ್ ರಕ್ಷೇತು ಧನೈರಪಿ ಆತ್ಮಾನಂ ಸತತಂ ರಕ್ಷೇತು ದಾರೈರಪಿ ಧನೈರಪಿ. So this is the important thing. So these are all because we have always the desire of priorities. ಏನು ಈ priority is important. What is that? When apada comes up, you have to, apada is to be, because our body and circumstances are prone for the calamities and difficulties. Suddenly flood comes, suddenly some COVID-19 comes, suddenly some such cholera comes, some such things epidemics will come, and for that we have to have some kind of savings. That's why dhanam rakshet means savings should be done. It is said that one must, my brother was telling, one must at least save 1 month's salary untouched for as long as possible, because any calamity might come, any demand for high expenses will come. So 1 month's salary to be saved. That's why apadarthe dhanam dakshet, and daran rakshetu dhanairavi. You should never give importance only dabbu, money. No money, but you should always give importance for dara. Dara is the wife, dara is the children. Dara means all your nearest relations, ಕ್ಲೋಸೆಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಧನವನ್ನು ನೋಡಬಾರದು. ಸಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡನ್, ಇಟ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಮನಿ. ಸೊ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಅಳೋದು ಬೇಡ. ನೋ, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ರೆಡಿ. ಇಫ್ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ಕುಡ್ ಅಫೋರ್ಡ್, ಯು ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್, ಯು ಬಾರೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪ್ರಭಾಕರ್ ಡಿಡ್, ಆರ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಅದೇ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂದರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಆ ಸಾಲವನ್ನು ನಾವು ತೀರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಸಮವಾಗಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಸಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಸಮ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಆರ್ ಲೋನ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆತ್ಮಾನಂ ಸತತಂ ರಕ್ಷೇತು ದಾರೈರಪಿ ಧನೈರಪಿ. ಸೊ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀನು ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಈ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಪಬಲ್, ದೆನ್ ದಿ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಟು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇದು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ರಾಮಾಯಣ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂಡೇನ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ರಾಮಾಯಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಯುದ್ಧಕಾಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ when all vanaras were fainting and killed, some of them, many of them, ಅವಾಗ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಜಾಂಬವಂತ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ಇಂಜುರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ comes with a torch light searching for Hanuman. After searching well in the darkness with a small lamp, he found ultimately Hanuman growing and with injuries fall on the ground. Then Jambavanta is the inspirer par excellence in the entire Ramayana. ಅವರು ಹನುಮಂತನ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದು, ಓ ಹನುಮಾನ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದಟ್, ಬಟ್ ನೀವೊಬ್ಬನು ಬದುಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಯ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಜೀವಂತವಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಸಾಕು, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ಹೋಗಿ ಸಂಜೀವಿನಿ ಪರ್ವತಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸಂಜೀವಿನಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಾಪ ಅಂತ ಸುಷೇಣ ಅಂಡ್ ಜಾಂಬವಾನ್ ಹನುಮಂತನಿಗೆ ಒಂಥರಹ ಉತ್ಸಾಹವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, immediately Hanuman got up with all that discomfort. Hanuman brought that particular mulika or herb, and because of which all mulikas are very divine. So all the Vanara Sainyam got back their strength and life. And next morning, to the wonder of Ravana and Rakshasas, all Vanaras are ready to continue the battle. Because ಒಬ್ಬನು ಬದುಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸು ನಮ್ಮ ಸನಾತನ ಧರ್ಮದು. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೀವು ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವ್, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎನರ್ಜೆಟಿಕ್, then all things will take place like that. Therefore, it is said that Atmarthe Prithivim Tajet. ಸೊ ಧನಂ ತ್ಯಜೇತ್. ಸೊ ನಿನ್ನಗೋಸ್ಕರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಂಗೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಕೂಡ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು 6 divisions ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಕಾಳಿದಾಸ. ಓಲ್ ತಪಸ್ಸದ್ಭಾಗಮಕ್ಷಯ್ಯಂ ಉಪತಿಷ್ಠಂತಿ ಸಾಧವ. ಸಿ, ವೆನ್ there is 6 rupees salary given to you, for example, from that end, 1 rupee to be saved, 1 rupee for family, 1 rupee for dhanam, 1 rupee for you, and 1 rupee for the people. So ಈ ಥರ 1 rupee share ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, but 1 rupee saving and 1 rupee for you becomes 2 rupees. And the remaining 4 rupees for tyagam. That is, what you keep is not much compared to what you try to share. So this is our Sanatana Dharma sharing taxation system. ಸೊ ಋಷಿಗಳು ವನದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ತಪಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡೋ ತಪಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 1/6 ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಫಲಂ ತಪೋಫಲಂ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜ. Therefore, when Dushyanta went to the ashrama in the forest for hunting, Kalidasa describes that he should visit the ashrama and also find out the welfare of all the inmates of the ashrama, and that's a part of duty of the Rishi, the king, the ruler. Therefore, he says, tapasatbhagamakshayam upatishtanti yete maharshaya. ಈ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ತರಹ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. And in 18th sloka, I'm reading. ಓದ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ, ಓದು 18th one.
ಉಕ್ತಂ ಮಯಾ ದ್ಯೋತ ಕಾಲೇಪಿ ರಾಜನ್ನೈವಂ ಯುಕ್ತಂ ವಚನಂ ಪ್ರಾತಿಪೀಯ ತದೌಷಧಂ ಪಥ್ಯಮೇವಾತು ರಶ್ಯ ನರೋಚತೆ